So, how much are you willing to give up for $1? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Season 1, Episode 1 of Jocelyn Hernandez's Cabaret. This is Joseline's Cabaret. Listen, how much of you are you willing to give up for $1? That's really what I pulled from this. That's what I got. And I mean that in the most positive way as well as in the most negative way. I'm going to say this right from the door. Me reviewing this, child, I'm going to be dragging. I'm going to be dragging. Ain't no need in me telling no lie. Y'all know how it is with me and Joseline. It's a drag session. I don't agree with everything she does. Some things she does I think is hilarious. All in all, I like Jocelyn. I like what she brings to the table. Her ass is ratchet. She's ratchet and she celebrates in the fact that she's ratchet. She knows what her brand is. She knows exactly where to go and how to go there to get the money. And for that, how could I do anything but like her? She's a hustler. I'm a hustler, baby. Yeah, that's what it gives. It's Joseline. All that broken English and carrying on. It's all a gimmick, honey. It's all a gimmick. You can see her go in and out of it. It's a gimmick. It just is what it is. That music thing, man. I don't know about the music thing, girl, because we don't know half the time what the hell you talking about. I think when it comes to the music, she should kind of drop the gimmick some, because her English is not as broken as what she portrays. It's not. You can tell when she's discussing her business. I watched her in an interview with Wendy Williams, and her English wasn't as broken up in parts of the interview. When she wanted Wendy to understand and take her serious, she unbroke her English. So, again, she controls it. Jocelyn Hernandez is the person. Chanelica is a character. And Joseline is a character. The Puerto Rican princess, that's in both of them. Now, Chanelica, that's part Chanelica and that's part Joseline is the Puerto Rican princess. That's the character. That's the character. We see you, sis. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and let's talk about Joseline's Cabaret, Miami. Okay? So, first off, first thing I'm going to say, I told you I was going to be dragging, child. Let's talk about that wig. Now, Miss Jocelyn, girl, first of all, why do you have that wig pulled down so far? Her wig is literally down. Your hairline's not down here, Jocelyn. It's down here, and the bitch is crooked. The bitch is crooked. Now, Jocelyn, you make far too much money to be laid up on here on your show. You done got your own show, and you keep on, giving yourself kudos and thumbs up at the fact that you the EP. And then you jump your ass up on here with a crooked wig pulled down too far with your lace showing and makeup on your lace. Now, again, are you trolling that? Because I felt like I was being trolled. See, I've seen Jocelyn when Jocelyn is cleaner than the board of goddamn health. And I've seen Jocelyn when she looked like she trolling. This looked like she trolling with your wig on crooked, with it pulled down too far, makeup on the lace and shit. It don't even look like a new wig. That ain't no new fresh install. Where you get that wig at? What you doing? I feel like you trolling us, but okay, whatever, girl. I wasn't gonna let you slide. I see it. That wig is... No, ma'am. Moving on. So we see Jocelyn and Ballistic, who is the boyfriend, the current boyfriend. He's a music producer. And he has some credits behind his name and all that. They had this conversation. The conversation was very off-putting. It was very hard to watch while she's dragging Mona and dragging VH1. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. We get it. You and Mona got an ongoing beef, but at the point that you start dragging VH1, I didn't want to be bothered with VH1, and I didn't want to be bothered with Mona, and some shit about HR. Girl, VH1 ain't who you really want to be into a beef with. Now, Mona, fine, but VH1, you're on Zeus. And now you're moving from Zeus and it's being moved on to WeTV. And I'm just going to leave that right there. Because I'm not going to read Zeus or read WeTV. But Zeus, WeTV, VH1. You do the math. Anyway, look, I ain't no mathematician, but I do know how to count. And that math that you're doing, it's not adding up. Anyway, moving on, girl. She said this whole thing about her issue with Mona was about them making her executive producer. She felt as though they could make her executive producer on Love and Hip Hop and they wouldn't do it. So that's why she kind of like fell out with them. And then she basically had said during her interview that I saw, there was an interview last year. It was in 2020 that she did an interview with Wendy Williams, and she was saying how Mona got jealous and the problems really got pushed along, if you will, when she got the EP credit on her special when she was delivering her baby. And she was Mona had a problem with it. Whatever. Again, I'll say, fight with Mona as much as you want. Don't fight with VH1. Jocelyn. Moving on. She claims that Stevie has left her alone, and Stevie basically gives her what she wants, but he doesn't give her any issues or any problems. Now, Ballistic says that that's due to him. Whatever, sir. Whatever you say. And he also turned around and read her for filthy points during the scene. And the scene was so put on. Like, they didn't seem comfortable. It was like y'all didn't do a good job. She's been doing reality TV long enough to know not to be looking at the camera. Jocelyn, cut it out. Knock it off. Anyway, they were talking about when they first met and why he didn't approach her right away. She said, they was in the crowd and she was over there shaking her ass, and she asked him why did he stick his tongue in it, and he told her because there was already too many tongues in there. I said, oh girl, Miss Thing, he just gave you whore right in your face, honey. And she turned around and said, everybody knows I'm a woman of God. Call yourself what you like, honey. He just called you an old whore. Right here on film. On your program that you're the owner and the executive producer to. A whore. But whatever. So I guess either she's become less whorish or he's over her whoredom. I don't know. You both are looking ridiculous to me right now. But anyway, let's move on. Anyhow. Now, this was the thing. She's explaining to him about how she wants to do this cabaret. She basically wants to take some girls from the strip club and bring them into a cabaret situation. So more of she wants to take them not so much off the pole, but take you out of that whole dark lane of stripping and put you more into a burlesque show. And this is what she's going to have to try to sell to these girls. Now, these girls are really like, they ghetto. I don't know. They ghetto. That's the portrayal that they're having. That these girls, some of them are actual streetwalkers. Some of them are, they're hustlers, but they're a little rough around the edges. So definitely not showgirls. But that's basically what she wants to turn them into, showgirls, as opposed to strippers. She wants them to be more of exotic dancers, per se. Okay? So, that's that. She just wants to change their image. Good luck. Good luck. Because a lot of them, as we see going forward, they are like literally, they have embraced their image and they're good with it, just like it is. Moving on. Jocelyn goes and sees this Daisy. Daisy is who Jocelyn has brought in as basically her bottom bitch. Okay? Daisy's no stranger to this because she's 23. Okay? She does not look 23, but she's 23. And she's already the bottom bitch to a pimp whose baby she just had. I think his name is Flower. But she's already playing the bottom bitch over at her own house. So she's fine with that. And all that means is bottom bitches that basically you're the one doing the work. You're going to rally the girls. You're going to do all the leg work while somebody else collects the money. And I'm laughing because that's basically what Jocelyn was recruiting her on to do for her. Tell me about the girls. What girls you're going to bring your girls in. And I'm going to make the money. Very bravo Andy and Nene Leakes, if you will. You all know that's really what that is. You do realize Nene Leakes is the bottom bitch of Real Housewives of Atlanta, for the most part. Call it what you like. Nene built Real Housewives of Atlanta. Those were her friends that she brought in. She scouted the girls and brought the girls in, and Bravo presented it. Bottom bitch. That's what that is. Whatever. That's the business. And that's the business model. But anyway, this is what Daisy's point is. It's who Daisy's going to be. Daisy's used to it. But the funny part is, when it comes to her living situation with her old man, Jocelyn sat right in her confessional and said, this bitch is borderline retarded. Because she said, did you give him because she was a whore. She was one of his whores underneath him at first. And then she ended up, being the main girl. Being the bottom bitch. And she thinks that really gives her some leg up on everybody else. Go for it. And Jocelyn asked her, did you really give him all of your money? When you were doing this, you gave him all the money? And she said, oh, yeah. She said, this bitch is borderline retarded. But this is what you want her to do for you. She going to do all the leg work. She going to do all the riling up of the girls, get them all together, and she going to deal with all their issues. And you going to get all the credit and all the money. So I guess she is borderline retarded, isn't she? Anyway. But you understand, because isn't that the position that Stevie gave you? You just wasn't able to rile people up. And then you got to be a wild dog and you couldn't control you anymore. Is basically what happened. But he was controlling you in the beginning. Anyway, we ain't even going to that. Let's go. Let's move on. So she was telling her, girl, we got to be careful of the walking girls. That's the girls that actually work the beat. So I picked up right away. She thinks she's better. But that was you. That was you. Interesting. Anyway. And I looked at her and I was like, girl, she seemed to think she's a lot. Miss Daisy thinks she's a lot. But you and your confessionals with one fingernail missing. Girl, bye. Anyway, like an old broken down porn movie. Let's go on. Disco Rick and Jocelyn have a little conversation over there at G5. This is a club that Jocelyn used to work at. He's the manager of the club. I looked at him. He was funny. He basically reminded me of Uncle Clifford at P Valley. And I just started laughing. He just ain't gender bending, but I just laughed at him. Jocelyn said, "This is the man. He taught me how to be a lady," and I just laughed. He gives me very Uncle Clifford vibes. Um, she was laughing about the story of the fact that he's the one that was calling her Puerto Rican princess. That's where that came from. He's the one that brought that little thing to life. She's calling herself Chanelica, and she was saying the funny part is he don't even realize the reason she called herself Chanelica is because she bought a fake ID from a pimp, because she was actually too young to be in the club, and that's how she started using the name Chanelica. Again, her story is very P Valley, very P Valley. He was telling her about how disrespectful the new girls are. You know, they're different. He's saying, you know, one, they don't really take things seriously. Like, they don't work out. They don't watch their weight. They just kind of just roll with it, roll with the punches. He's like, when you were out here, girl, you used to work out and different things. Y'all really took things seriously about your body and, all of that stuff. These girls are really not on that. And Jocelyn was saying how, they don't even make the money that we used to make. The money flow is different now. I understand that. She's like, we would make $10,000 a night. They're not making anything like that at all. And they were saying they was giving blowjobs for $25. I was like, oh girl, those crackhead rates. But whatever. He cares for Jocelyn, though. You could actually see that he cares for Jocelyn, because he was actually talking. He said, I just don't want you. I said, I'll do whatever you want to do. Whatever you're trying to get together, I'm on board to do it. But I just don't want you to get caught up in the bullshit that they have going on that I see running in and out and around here. So I knew then he is proud of the success that Jocelyn has actually garnered at this point, and he doesn't want to see anything harm her brand. So I said, yeah, he actually cares for her. Very Uncle Clifford vibe from him. So anyway, Lucky and J Dreams is two girls we have been hearing about. She goes down, she sees them. Immediately, you see these two, they are walking girls. They're walking girls, so they actually do prostitute as well. They are rough around the edges, and they don't care for Daisy or her girlfriend Chastity. We met Chastity later. We found Daisy and Chastity are very like they're better. So there we know all. I said there's our drama for the show. It's gonna be Lucky and J Dreams versus Chastity and Daisy. Know it for a fact. So that's that. Oh, as I was saying, let me go back a little bit. The very beginning of the show, Jocelyn was already talking about beating somebody's ass from the beginning, before we even got started. When Ballistic was asking her, how are you going to handle the relationships between some of the girls? Some girls are so ratchet. He's like, girl, I'll beat some bitches' ass. So she coming in with the bruiser mentality already. I said, there you go. Anyway, Jocelyn's talking to them. She's like, well, I'm trying to present you all with an opportunity. You all are telling me you don't want to deal with certain girls. This ain't what this is even all about. This is about money. Who cares? You don't like them. So what? You don't like them? This is about making money. It's about getting to the dollar. I don't give a shit who likes who. You have to figure it out. Learn to work with them. Period. Grow up. Have some professionalism about yourself. Get yourself out of that rut you in. So then Jocelyn, in Jocelyn fashion said, y'all shouldn't be fighting. Y'all should be sucking each other's pussy. I said, girl, you think everybody supposed to be licking each other? Girl, sit down. And the two of them was like, that damn J Dreams, she was like, girl, girl, they musty. Ain't no way. If I'm gonna lick somebody, I don't want about them bitches is musty. When they come and they be changing and stuff, oh, it's musty. I feel it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, so Jocelyn ends up later on that night meeting with all the girls. By this time, Daisy and Daisy and her girlfriend then got there. Chastity then got there. There's some other girls there, and they start talking. Just talking about the business as a whole. Jocelyn's talking to the girls. And Jocelyn had said something to Chastity, because Chastity was she had listened to what Daisy had said to her, but she hadn't talked to Jocelyn. She was real defensive, and natural, because Jocelyn kept on her and said, ain't your boyfriend a scammer? Daisy told your boyfriend was a scammer. I said, oh, you hoes is all messy. Anything that come out is going to come out again. They messy. None of them, it's no honor amongst thieves, honey. If it gets said, it's going to get said again. She's like, my boyfriend's not no scammer, bitch. You don't know what you're talking about. This, that, thing, that. I'm like, oh my God. So they got through all that. Jocelyn's like, listen, just listen to what I'm saying. So Chastity piped down, and she's like, okay. She's going along with it. Then we start into this conversation. And they get into this whole conversation, which was really, really sad. It had to really do with colorism in the club. Now, Jocelyn's telling them about, I want to do something where you don't have to get nude. You don't, something that's upper scale. And this is with the girl. There's a brown-skinned girl from Cleveland. She's originally from Cleveland, which is up here close to me. And she was saying how about the difference in Atlanta versus Cleveland versus Miami. She was saying, how it's a little low budget there in Miami. Like, you got to do more to actually get the same money that you get somewhere else. And you have to really, how much of you are you willing to give? And she's like, she has a problem with that. She's like, I don't want to be groped. And I don't want to, I dance. I don't turn tricks. And I don't want to be treated like a prostitute or common. And I don't want to be fighting and arguing with the guys. And then she brought that out. It's what she said, I'm in Miami. Here it is. I'm a brown-skinned girl. And I got to supposedly do more than the light-skinned girls and the Puerto Rican girls just to get somewhere near the money that they make, And that's when hit dog will holler, right? Daisy jumps in, and Daisy's basically talking to her like, well, girl, you just got issues. Like, you just, Miss Thing. And sometimes you got to do, no, you ain't got to do all that. She said, I've been to Atlanta, and in Atlanta, I got paid. No issues involved. But when I come here, I'm telling somebody, don't do that. Don't touch me. Don't put your hand in my orifices. Don't stick your fingers in me. And then I might have to be looking down the barrel of a gun when I'm walking to my car at the end of the night, because this is what Miami gives. And they're giving, well, girl, we just used to a little more. And, basically talking like she the one with the problem. So that's when it did shine a light on and that was good that they actually brought that on. It shined a light on the colorism within the business. And just in general, culture. And where you are, and that it's different, just as far as like even in Atlanta versus Miami. The clientele and what they expect for their money and the behaviors, it was very interesting if you're not in that, because I don't hang in strip clubs, so it was very interesting to hear. Sad. But interesting, and that's why when I started this review, I said it really breaks down to, what are you willing to do for the dollar? What are you willing to do for the dollar? And then when they threw the colorism piece in, I said, look at that. Because colorism always comes masked like that. People who are at the top end of it always pretend like it's not going on. Did you ever notice that? The people who are actually not being victimized with colorism always seem to turn that blind eye to it, or try to talk it down like it's not really going on. Get on out of here. Anyway, so that was very, very interesting. Jocelyn said, she said, girl, whatever. She said, y'all go ahead. Okay, we talked about all that. I don't even know how we got onto all that, but okay. I'm going to go buy some bottles. We're going to go out. We're going to do some talking. Let's get this thing going. She leave for a couple minutes, honey. She come back, child. By the time she come back, honey, shit done broke out. Next thing you know, it done got to be a whole thing. Because before she left, Daisy starts throwing her weight around. I'm the bottom bitch. And this, that, thing, and the other. And y'all, I'm here to help. And you just answer to me. Well, of course, you know Lucky and J Dreams, honey, was given. Bitch, you can't even help yourself. You're a whole clown, bitch. And they got to going back and forth, honey, and it was given Lucky. Girl, didn't you just get evicted from your apartment? She's like, it burned down. And when you staying in a hotel, bitch, don't you catch Ubers? You ain't got no car. And they're just going back and forth, and they're telling J Dreams, girl, where'd you get those bell bottoms, honey? Leopard print? Who's wearing that, girl? What are you, a cheetah? Girl, and they're just going back and forth. And then they end up fighting. It end up getting physical. Child, nails were broken, hair was pulled, all this pushing and carrying on. Jocelyn come back. She said, I've been gone for 5 minutes, and look at you bitches. What is really going on? Girl, it just gave you a taste of what's to come. And gave us a taste of what's to come. There is some real interesting elements to this show, because I wasn't even planning on doing this review for this show, but very interesting. That colorism issue, just the messiness of it all, you know, just the camaraderie and the teaming up and the cliques, and yeah, very interesting, very interesting. So we're gonna be on the ride, honey. This is gonna be interesting. All right, I'll catch y'all in the next episode. It was a good opener. It was a very good opener. But Jocelyn, girl, you is messy boots. Messy boots. And this whole thing is really, it's interesting. Very interesting. Boy, they talk rough to each other. But, you know, we're here for it. I'll talk to y'all later.